Hello, and welcome back to Gathering the Magic. Today we are going to learn how to build a commander deck. First, let's look at the bracket system. The bracket system is used in order to have a balanced game. And remember, when people lie about what bracket deck they have, it's because they're tired of always losing. Anyway, bracket 1 is for exhibition, also known as jank decks. These are decks that are unique and not really focused on gameplay. For instance, a deck themed around feats, where every card in your deck has feats in its artwork. Bracket 1 is heavily restricted. That means no 2-card infinite combos, no game changers, no mass land denial, no extra turns, and up to 3 non-land tutors. But the truth is, nobody uses Bracket 1, because if you're going to make a jank deck, you probably don't care about the rules anyway. Bracket 2 is for social decks and precons. These are decks that are made to play the game as it should be played. If you're using broken mechanics or lots of 3-card combos, that is not a Bracket 2. Bracket 2 allows extra turns, but not chaining them, up to 3 non-land tutors, no 2-card combos, no game changers, and no mass land denial. Bracket 3 is for upgraded precons and tuned decks. Bracket 3 is still more on the casual side, but with less restrictions. This is the bracket where you test the waters with broken mechanics and janky 3 or more card combos, and if you follow the rules, Bracket 3 can be optimized and even a little competitive, as you're more focused on winning than in the lower brackets. Bracket 3 is allowed any amount of tutors, but only up to 3 game changers, meaning powerful tutors like Demonic Tutor are limited. Late game 2-card combos are allowed. Those are combos that have high mana costs or significant setup and are usually played on turns 6 or 7. A Bracket 4 deck is a high-powered deck that is built to win, but not completely optimized for competitive play, allowing a multitude of strategies that you don't see competitively, and on average winning around turn 5. Bracket 5 is for the most competitive decks, keeping track of new meta cards when new sets drop, and optimized for fast turn 2 to 4 wins, with only the best possible cards. If you're building the deck yourself, and it's not perfectly optimized, I'm sorry to tell you this, but that is a Bracket 4. Now let's move on to actually building the deck. Step 1. Find a strategy that you want to build a deck around. The main strategies are combos, stacks, group slug, aristocrat, artifacts, and tribal. Of course, there are many more strategies than this, and sometimes you already know what commander you want to build, and that makes it easier to figure out which one to use. Step 2. Choose a commander that works for your chosen strategy. In most decks, the commander is the centerpiece of your deck, and remember, the color combination is very important. A mono white enter the battlefield deck will be a lot better than mono black enter the battlefield deck. Black doesn't have nearly as many options for flickering creatures as white. Step 3. Finding high synergy cards for your deck and commander. For this step, you can format your deck on sites such as Moxfield, Architect, or apps such as Manabox. Then you may want to research combos that synergize well with your strategy. Infinite combos are a powerful way to end the game. The best combos are infinite turn combos or infinite combat combos. They are the hardest to interact with because once the ball is rolling, there's no stopping it. But they are also usually the hardest to accomplish. EDH is a useful website for researching combos and high synergy cards. In higher power decks, you want about 5 to 8 tutor cards to search for win cons and combos, and multiple overlapping ways to win. The more you have, the better, but don't go too overboard because if you have no defense cards, then good luck playing them. Step 4. Laying out your mana base. First off, lands. In brackets 2 to 3, you want about 36 to 40 lands, while in brackets 4 and 5, you want anywhere between 20 to 34 lands, depending on what your deck needs. Mana ramp affects how many lands you need in your deck. While having lots of lands can be good, lands by themselves are slow. This is why brackets 4 and 5 utilize less lands and more mana ramp, unless a deck has heavy land ramp. Step 5. Optimizing your mana curve. Aggro decks want a lot of 1 to 2 cost minions, while control decks start to peak in the late game. Balancing your mana curve can boost the power of your deck dramatically. Focus on the middle of your curve as most decks will peak around 3 to 4. If you have too many expensive cards, your deck will be very slow in the beginning, and if you have too many cheap cards, you'll burn through your starting hand too fast, and you'll have nothing to play in the late game. Step 6. Last but not least, play testing your deck. The more you play your deck, the more you'll notice the cards that you never play, or cards that are good for your deck but you can never afford. These are the cards you want to replace with better cards, such as cheaper cards or something more useful for your deck. Take note of what cards you use regularly and use them as inspiration for what to add. Now you should be able to build a commander deck, but if you're interested in learning about infinite combos, or you just want to listen to Magic, the Gathering videos. Stay tuned for part 2. Good luck, and you're welcome.